The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. And where do we kick things off on Friday morning? How about gold? Sitting at $3,004. We catch an acceleration up to $3,017 overnight. $3,000, first time anyone's ever been able to say it. $3,000 for 1 ounce of gold. Now, markets, positive territory as well. S&P's up an even 1% right now. Markets catching a bid from that low intraday yesterday of about 55.10. We're 70 points above that price level, 55 points in the positive, or 1% on the dot on the S&P's. NASDAQ 100, 1.3% in the green, up 249 points, 19,498 right now. You get the Dow up about 0.7%, and the Russell up by 1.2%. Crude, a little bit of a drop just even since we came on the air. We were trading at 67 and change. We're trading at 66.86 in the price of crude. Not bad. As I mentioned, gold catches a bid, 3,003. You jump to notes and bonds, a little bit of lower price and higher yield right now. You got the 10-year negative by about 7 ticks. Okay, that's correlating to a yield of about 4.31, and we get to the dollar. And yeah, this will help gold, right? Weaker dollar, gold priced in weaker dollars. And what's so remarkable here is that gold, been saying this a long time, man, on the show, saying it in the Gold Report, saying it in Market Insights, gold is remarkably strong, okay, period, end of sentence. When the dollar strengthens, go back to the dollar, gold consolidates, and when the dollar weakens, the strength is there. And it varies. It's not every day, but you see it again today, right? Not a huge reaction in the dollar, okay? But dollar's a safe haven, right? Gold is a safe haven right now. And, yeah, enough said. $3,000 for the price of gold. We jump over the XAU. Now, what's interesting here is, okay, you jump over the XAU, take off that, and you can see for the XAU, now we'll see where we're open. We're going to get a bid on the open, okay? But we're not even at highs yet on the XAU. Okay, 176 is the high out there in October. You go a little bit bigger picture on the XAU, and we're right where we were in 2022. So you see a little bit of divergence. You go to the HUI. Pretty similar chart, okay? But again, not quite back up to even to the highs. Quite the channel line we had from February of last year, and these markets trying to break above there. Yeah, so you're going to see the headlines, man. 3,000, nice round number, and that's going to be the move. Look at this, right? Yeah, and they've been talking about this in the Tiger's Den as well, getting ahead of potentially some of the tariffs. And how about this number? As traders brace for tariffs, let me even blow it up a little bit. U.S. prices for gold surged above other international benchmarks, prompting dealers to rush bullion into America. Okay, more than 23 million ounces of gold worth $70 billion flowed into New York's COMEX Futures Exchange between Election Day, November 6th, November 5th, and March 12th. Amazing, right? And it actually contributed to the trade deficit. Gold imports. Amazing. So gold beats the S&P 500 this century, huh? They're going back to 2000. All right, let's take a look at this one for a second. And then, so the S&P in about 2000 is 1,300. We're at 5580. Yeah, see, the tough part about that is that you cherry pick. and you can always cherry pick, okay? But gold beat the S&P for the last 24 years. Did that? Yeah, you better believe it did, because you cherry pick a low, okay? But the 20 years prior to that, you break even, okay? This is a great example. Because, yeah, you go from 150. Okay. So when you see statistics like that, right, you should question them at first. Say, wait a second, you're telling me gold has outperformed the S&P over the last 24 years? Yeah, it has. Do you know why? Because you cherry pick a low in the gold contract in the year 2000. Okay, that's when my dad started the gold report. What's the low there? I got 253 on my chart. I got 255. Yeah, 255. In 2000, we're trading as low as 264. But you broke even. And I didn't even plan on going in this, but this is where you got to, you broke even. Gold, we were right where you were in 1979. So 20 plus years you break even. That's part of the reason why my dad started the gold report, folks. Okay, he saw this type of 20-year even trade in a yellow precious metal that was bound to hold value, in his opinion. But guess what? It worked out. Okay. And you can always cherry pick a low. You want to be careful of cherry picking the lows. Do you know what this says to me now? This says to me now that we better be careful in this gold contract. Now, I've talked about it. I think we got a run going to 33.50 in this market, okay? But you're now talking about gold has multiplied 12 times in price over the last 25 years. Remember that gold can go break even for 20-year periods, as it did in the 80s and 90s. Remarkable when you think, though, 24 years that you invest in. But that's what happens when you cherry pick a low. And gold's had quite a stratospheric run. And go a little bit more, last thing on it. But hey, we got 3,000 on gold. We're having a party. There's your one-to-one, A to B, C to D. You did it twice. And boy, you talk about runs. You start at $250, and your A to B leg is $1,700, right? Imagine that. Imagine an equity. The equity's trading at $250. Your first run up is to 2,000. You pull back to almost 1,000, and then you do it again, and we're above that 2,700. So I think gold's got legs, but boy, that is a remarkable one. When you talk about gold outperforming the market, magnificently too, 2.5-fold this century, and it's 2025. But always remember, folks, it's easy to say they cherry picked a low on that one. Okay, if you were in the market, yeah. And that's where you want to see, Basil talks about it all the time, right? Nice rotations, okay? If you got a lot of exposure in the market from 1980 until 2000, right? This is where you ride the S&Ps up from like 150 to 1,500. You got a 10 times return. And you know what you do? You say to yourself, wait a second, I just made 10 times on my money in 20 years in equities. Maybe we have a little bit of a bubble here. Maybe I should diversify. And what happens? Yeah. From 2000 to... you look at that high, 1,600 to, man, we almost went flat in the S&Ps for 15, 16 years. We're in a remarkable time in these markets, man. Today, we're looking at green territory across the board. Market's higher. Gold at 3,000. We'll take a look at some equities. Don't go away, folks. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets in the green right now. Bitcoin up $3,300 at $83,610 right now. We jump around. As I mentioned, gold trading at $3,006. How about silver with a bid as well? Take a look at a little bit of a longer-term picture at silver. And, yeah, that's a bar you like to see now. That's a weekly, okay? We take a look at the daily. And, yeah, 32 is a nice technical area, and this might be the breakaway. The one thing you want to see on silver is this high out here from October. You can see the volume we had at these highs, okay? You got to see a breakthrough with some momentum there. Let me take off this news. You got to see a breakthrough with some momentum there. You pull this up in terms of the volume, right? Some nice quality volume at this higher area in October. You look at those bars, right? What were we doing? We're doing 100,000. Yeah, 100,000 shares. This is a silver contract we're looking at. 100,000 shares, 100,000 shares, and you see the teeter off in volume as we consolidate. But then what happened yesterday? A little bit of a bid, but only 72,000 contracts. All right, you really want to see a nice acceleration above these highs because, boy, when we did it on October 22nd, you gave it back the next day, October 23rd, right? You accelerated higher on October 29th, the high there, 34.72, and then you rip lower the next day by almost $1, more than $1, from 34.69 to 33.56. And we're right at that level, those highs right now. We're trading at 34.67 in the price of silver right now. All right. Bloomberg had a great article last night. I was reading this, okay, and pertinent to say the least. Tariffs, okay, where are they going? And visually, it's always nice to have a nice visual representation of what we're dealing with. So in orange here, these are tariffs that are already imposed. In yellow, you're going to have tariffs that are threatened. And in the gray, you're going to have others that have not been specifically targeted yet, but guess what? It might be coming, man. You know, if we got trade deficits with Vietnam, why aren't they getting all the tariffs, right, et cetera? Not hard to imagine that they'll be in the crosshairs at some point. But yes, when we talk about the deficit in the trade deficit, not the deficit, not the budget deficit, 2024, $1 trillion. Okay, and I like how they make it so simple because I understand it, but a lot of people, it's like, wait, what's the trade? We imported, $1.2 trillion more goods than we export. We're an importer. We're a consumer. We're a consumer nation, folks. Okay, and we do sell to other countries, obviously, but we are a consumer nation, okay? And what they do is they break down the biggest contributors to that trade deficit. How about Chinese smartphones alone? $50 billion. And this is where you got to start looking at yourself, okay? You look at industries, you look at companies, you look at their exposure. I found myself, you talk about, and this is where I got confused here, and I don't know if they labeled it wrong, right? They got Taiwan. They got computers and parts in one, and then they got computer parts in the other. I literally pulled this up last night, and I said to myself, maybe they're going to fix that. Was that a typo? I'm not sure. It seems confusing, but nonetheless, even focusing on the large orange ones, which are already imposed, yeah. How about lithium batteries? Almost $20 billion. You add up smartphones, and you add up portable devices, and you add up lithium batteries, and you're at over $100 billion. That alone from China, is 10% of the trade deficit. Smartphones, portable devices, and lithium batteries. 10%, and I'm exaggerating. It's like 8%. That's a staggering amount. And what I started thinking about, is, and that's not even talking about, look how these squares are pretty large. These squares are large as well. These are what? Probably something in the neighborhood of $12 billion contributor. That's a big number, man. And then you go down the line, Computer parts, routers, modems, computer parts, disk storage units, routers, electrical boards, computer parts, TV monitors. You think about it, man. All right? Darth, you out there? When I make my trips to Sam's, there's a reason why it's remarkable how cheap everything is. And sometimes, you ever go through even Target, Best Buy, TVs? TVs are so cheap right now. We get them all from China, man. All right? Again, exaggerating, right? But, boy, we'll see where they go. But there are some big numbers, and it is remarkable when you just look at certain areas, all right? You want some Chinese smartphones, you're going to pay up. How about your cheap computers? Get ready to pay up. It's potential, man. Yeah. We'll see where it goes from there. Okay? All right. And then they go down the line. So these 189 smaller squares is a combined $241 billion. So you see, in terms of, look at again, routers and modems, right? Then you get into turbojets and parts, fridges, freezers, headphones, there's just so much there. Now, all of these combined to $241 billion, okay? You got electrical parts. But guess what? That was just the section for machinery, electrical, and electronics. And I told you right away, smartphones, portable devices, and lithium-ion batteries just from China alone is almost 10% of the trade deficit. You get into automotives, yeah, this is why, of course, right? Canada, Mexico, tariffs, $45 billion. Passenger vehicles and EVs. Just from Mexico. Commercial vehicles, add $35 billion on top of there. You start including Japan and Korea, okay? But they're not in there yet. They're not even threatened yet. Remember, orange is the ones that tariffs exist. Yellow is the ones that have been threatened. And gray is just out there looming. And you got to know, if you want to tighten the trade deficit, you look at something like Japan, South Korea, well, there's what, $75 billion in trade deficit right there between those two squares, okay? Then you get down to energy. How about that one? We import a lot of crude oil from Canada, folks, right? Mexico, it's $12 billion. Yeah. Crude oil deficit the U.S. has with Canada is the largest for products at this level, even though the U.S. is a net energy exporter. So we're a net energy exporter, but not when it comes to Canada and crude oil, okay? And then pharmaceuticals. Good old Ireland at the top. Wheeled toys. You want some wheeled toys for your child? Order it right now, because they all come from China. Right? And then precious metals, you go down the line, they get a little bit smaller from there. But it is remarkable, and I'm going to post this one in the Tiger's Den because it's a great one, man, in terms of just breaking it down. And pretty remarkable when you see how big certain areas are, right? Whether you're talking about passengers, smartphones, electronics. We all know cheap electronics come from China, folks. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. All right, we got markets chopping around. We pull back a bit from the highs we were at about 8:30. You give up about 10 points, but S&P's right now up by 47 points or 0.8%. We jump around to some of the movers. How about Meta yesterday? From 620 to the 580s, and just like that, we're going to be up by almost $15 on the open from Meta shares. You jump over to NVIDIA. They're going to be up by more than $3 to 118. Intel, quite a day yesterday. Basically flat, 23.87. We jump over to Amazon shares, particularly volatile as well. They're going to be up by about $3, 1.5% on the open. All right, folks, stay tuned. We're coming back for an opening bell. We're going to talk a little volatility when we get back. We'll talk some volatility in this market. Stay tuned.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are March 14th and 28th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com and hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com. Then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open. You got an S&P up by 48 points, trading up by about 0.8% right now. You got the NASDAQ 100 up 230. You take a look at things on a volume basis, and we've trailed off a bit. You know, the last couple of days, you make this real acceleration. Monday, you rip lower. on 2.5 million contracts traded in the S&P. You basically do the same volume, even a little bit more, on the acceleration to lower lows Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, the volume pairs a bit. Okay, so chopping around a bit, and today we're catching a little bit of a lift right now. We're at 55.73. We'll see how the volume comes in on a weekly basis. We're going to have some work to do today to get to those numbers, but still, you're talking about big weekly volume, right? I'm not sure we're going to get to that number of 12.7 we were at last week. We're at 9.2 right now. What do we need? Yeah, good 3.5 million today. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That would be more than we saw on March 4th. So you're going to come up a little bit light on the volume, but tough to keep up with what we're doing. But yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if we catch a little bit of a reprieve rally, no matter what, folks. All right? S&P is just traded down 10% in no time. Now, volatility, as I mentioned. So this one from Bloomberg a while back, okay, talking about, March 9th, but talking about zero-day expirations, all right? And what's remarkable here is, okay, is the speed at which this market has traded lower. Oh, let me find it. Come on. Is this it? Oh, I'm going to have to pull up one more because I'm confusing two articles, I think. But yeah, how about the last? All right, I'll pull it up. I'm jumping around to two articles here because one of them was talking about the pullback here and the correction. Let me make sure I get us. Because what we're talking about here, I'm going to find it. Don't worry. Oh, shame on me. Okay. I got too many good articles to talk about this morning. It was talking about basically a correction or a pullback in the market. This is the 7th fastest pullback ever into correction territory. 10% in 2 weeks. It's not the norm. Usually it takes a little bit longer. And the risk there is that you don't get a flush out in 2 weeks. It takes a couple months, usually, to flush out fear, okay, to get all the sellers out of the market that are going to sell. Nobody's freaked out yet, like they need to be to really get a bottom. Okay, you're talking about 2 weeks. I'll find the article that talks about it, but it's the 7th fastest correction ever. Now, 7th fastest, that's not the fastest, but it's a remarkable correction considering that you're only talking about a couple weeks, and these usually take longer to play out. Now, you take the stairs on the way up, you take the elevator on the way down. That's the expression, right? Markets have a tendency to inch up, and then once everybody wants to sell, right, they rip down in general. But not even as fast as we have here. And this is going to be a critical area in terms of right where we are right now, 5,500. And you can see we chopped around here from about the middle of June all the way until September in this market. And you trade below here. Yeah, you can make the case the round number 5,000 maybe is the next stop, right? You look at where we were on August 5th, 5120. What's remarkable is that's another 450 points from where we are right now. Jump over the VIX. Rolling over a bit. That's your weekly. Let's put it back on a daily. We almost hit 30. We're at 23.71 as volatility pairs a bit, and we got markets in higher territory. We check back in on that gold contract. We pull back a bit, but right at 3,000. Nice round number, and you know what? That's how you like to see. You know when I was talking about silver? So look at how this does it. You don't have to be a master technician, folks. Okay, you don't. We got a nice consolidation for a period of 6 weeks, right? We chop around between 28.50 and 29.50. And how do we break out of that consolidation? We do it on wide price spread and volume. You trade 236,000 contracts. That's the largest contract volume I've got on my chart going back until January 21st, almost 2 months. You do big time volume. You break above that area. You break into 3,000. You do it on wide price spread. And yeah. All right. What else have we got going on? You know what we got going on today, folks? It's not too late. If you're still around, we got our man Larry Pesavento. He's live trading. I'm seeing Jacob in there talking about right now. He's in there live trading. You can sign up. You get 2 classes this Friday and then 2 weeks from right now. So March 14th and March 28th this month, 9 a.m. till noon. And you can get in there right now if you want to check that out, folks. Larry's in there live trading right now. And we got some action, as usual, in this market, to say the least, right? We got some action. All right. Yeah, because all the headlines we're talking about, of course, correction territory. Yeah, we'll see. All right, we jump around to other stories I had on my radar. We'll jump over to Tesla. You better believe they're in the crosshairs, man. I just showed you what those tariffs look like. And yeah, they make a lot of American cars, but guess what? There's going to be retaliatory tariffs, as we all know. Okay, we jump over to Tesla shares this morning. Market in positive territory. We catch a bid. Tesla up by 3.5% right now. Market's accelerating higher on the open. You get the NASDAQ 100 up by 1.6% right now. Now, what I will say is we're going to be bumping up against this 19,600 area. We'll see how we trade into there. That's where I potentially look for a little bit of a battle, right where we were at the open yesterday. Okay, and folks, you're talking about 400 points down, 400 points up. Remarkable volatility in this market persists. Excuse me. Tesla's up by 3.8. We check around to some of the culprits that were lower yesterday. Meta shares up by 2.5% right now. Amazon up by 2.1%. Google up by 0.7%. Jump over to Apple up by 1.5%. So the future is going to be wild, man. The future is going to be wild. How about, imagine you're not going to need to know anything in terms of languages anymore. All you're going to have to do is pop in some AirPods and you can talk to anybody you want in any language you want, and you're going to hear the language that you understand. It's remarkable what the future is going to look like, man. Again, I always say it, try and imagine a future 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years into the future. 40 years into the future, Tommy's going to be my age. I know, I'm an old man right now. But yeah, it is remarkable when you think about that type of technology and how that's going to change everything, right? If an English speaker is hearing someone talk in Spanish, the iPhone will translate the speech and relay it to the user's AirPods in English, and the English speaker's words will be translated into Spanish and playback by the iPhone. Yeah, so you can have just complete conversations, and it's going to be even more seamless than that. Imagine, you just sync up everyone's AirPods, however it goes, right? So that's coming down the line, man. They got to do something because the technological advances in some of those phones, they got to give people an incentive to upgrade, and that goes with the AirPods as well. All right, folks, stay tuned. We got markets in positive territory. S&P's up by 56, NASDAQ 100 up by 325. We're coming right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks, and we got the markets in positive territory, holding on to the gains with the S&Ps up by 1.1%, Nasdaq 100 1.6% in the positive right now. Russell up by 1.2, and we got the Dow up 0.6% right now. All right, and let's jump around to a couple stories. So the Olympics, gotta love the Olympics, right? Just finished them up, and yeah. NBC, they're going to keep the Olympics till 2036 for $3 billion. And, you know, you think about how often you hear promos on NBC, right, about the Olympics. $3 billion does not seem like a ton of money. And I'm just, you know, everything is just spitballing here. But their existing arrangement was scheduled to run from 2021 to 2032. That was $7.6 billion. The new deal covers the Salt Lake City Games in 2034 and the still-to-be-chosen location for the Summer Games in 2036. Yeah, the ones that just hit in Paris, 31 million viewers a night in prime time, $1.3 billion in advertising revenue. Yeah, Peacock, myself included. I'm in Peacock right now. So big numbers. I mean, you just think about, you know, if they're pulling $1.3 billion in advertising every 2 years, locking it down for the next decade, doesn't seem like that huge of a number when you talk about what's the dollar going to be worth in 2036. That's a kicker, right? So they get the rights to 2036 for $3 billion. And that's 2 Olympic cycles, okay? Like, look at this. Okay, that's going to now include the 2034 and 2036 games. So you got a winter and a summer. You got a winter games that's in the U.S., right? And then they still have to choose the location for the summer games. But they just took in $1.3 billion in advertising alone. So doesn't seem outlandish for the 2 of them out there. All right, let's talk a little bit of tariffs. BMW. How's $1.1 billion sound? Watch out, right? Now, they expect $1.1 billion earnings, not revenue, folks, earnings hit from tariffs this year. Continuing weakness in EV demand, challenges in China, an escalating trade war, and they got some issues, to put it lightly, right? And yeah, dynamics have hit high-end German manufacturers like BMW especially hard. Now, BMW has some great plants in the U.S. They do, but China, yeah. Competition continues to increase in China, and that's our next. We're gonna jump to Tesla with a cheaper Model Y in China, folks. It is going to be so difficult to compete with Chinese EV vehicles in China going forward. Okay, but BMW, aiming for a profit before taxes this year at the same level as 2024, but cautioned that the margin will remain depressed 5 to 7%. They're used to 8%. And yeah, they're talking tariffs. They're talking billions of dollars, man. Pretty remarkable. And it goes both ways. Because should the U.S. increase the tariff on imported cars from the EU to 10% from the current 2.5, it would hit the margin by another 0.5 percentage point. So it's interesting to see, right? We're starting to get some real numbers here. And you're going to get some real numbers from these companies because they're required to give public information. Just if you increase the tariff on imported cars from the EU to 10% from 2.5, 0.5 percentage point of your margins. Now, that's not that bad when you actually put it. They're making margins of about 5%. They're only going to lose 0.5%. Maybe there's more room. Maybe that's one of the things that Trump's talking about, right? Yeah, nonetheless, they got some issues, man, and they're dealing with big numbers in a big way. Fourth quarter margins, 5.5%. They were 8.5% a year earlier. You don't normally see that type of volatility from a car company, folks. Yeah. And they cut their dividend to 4.3 euros from 6 in 2023 to shore things up. Now, you jump over from BMW to Tesla. Let's see how Tesla's doing as this market just plows higher on Friday. Tesla's up by 1.9% right now. And so they have a stripped-down SUV, aims to recover market share from Chinese makers offering less expensive models. I don't understand how you compete in China right now as Tesla, folks. I just don't understand it. I mean, look at this. This is all you got to look at. That's your market share in China. That's not going to reverse, folks. It's not happening, okay? They had a 13% share in 2021. They only have a 7% share in China. Yeah, they're in trouble. And that's not going to stop. China, you can't do it when the government's just subsidizing an industry that they want to compete. It used to happen in America, and they're trying to do it here, and I hope it happens. But, you know, I was reading a great article about fast trains the other day. It's just remarkable what China can do with government backing, and hopefully we step it up here to a degree because you can see how, yeah, EVs aren't here right now, folks, but they're going to be here at some point. And China's eaten everybody's lunch when it comes to EVs in China. And, yeah, this is where tariffs are going to come in, okay? Yeah. But in February, 30,000 cars made in Shanghai is what they sold. The worst monthly sales performance since July of 2022, hit by weak demand from markets outside of China. So they made them in Shanghai, okay, and they shipped them from Shanghai to Asia and Europe. That's a problem too. So they're not selling cars in China, and the cars they're making in Shanghai, they're not even selling to the areas that they're shipping them to. And, you know, I'm not an Elon hater, folks. But you got to go where the numbers go. And there's one thing that's saying, you know, hey, I'm a meme enthusiast and I'm going to buy it regardless of what the underlying numbers do. That's great, okay? What are the technicals saying right now? The technicals are saying, man, we got volume at these lows, period. That's it. To get volume at these lows from 488, and where do you get the volume? Where's the biggest volume bar on this chart from 488? That last bar that we made, March 10th. So pay attention, man. Tesla's got some room to go in a big way. Because, yeah, you're talking about a company right now that's valued at $790 billion. And realistically, that's not pegged to any type of financials they're dealing with. So, you know, and the whole deal with Trump having, you know, Elon on the lawn doing basically straight out of a car dealership ad that you usually watch on Sunday mornings. Come on down, folks. We got the best deals on the block. We'll put you in a new car, no problem, no questions asked, zero down. You'll love your payment. I'm the best guy you can find, no problem. The reason why I say it, folks, is I was joking with Jacob. I said, man, that might be the sell of the century. If the president has to tout your products as the richest man in the world and says that it's illegal how people are treating your business, the richest man in the world, it's illegal how people are treating the business of the richest man in the world. This is what was said, okay? And I'm not talking politics right now. You better watch out on this equity, folks, because that doesn't make sense. All right, and it makes sense having the power of the government behind you, okay, which Elon has to a certain degree. But I said, really? That's how much trouble he's in? That the president thinks he has to do an infomercial on the South Lawn for his cars? I don't know. We're going to find out. Nonetheless, markets, they're on fire to the upside. S&P's back above 5,600. One more segment. Don't go away, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets holding on to the gains right now. Look at the Dow. Catches a bid. Dow up by 1% now. We put it back on a 5-minute. There's your acceleration right out of the gate. Dow just traded up 350 points from that opening bell. NASDAQ 100 up 356 points, up 1.9%. S&P's up 1.4% right now. The Russell up by 1.7% right now. And you jump back to that gold contract, a nice round number to the penny, $3,000 for a price of yellow precious metal gold. Let's jump around to some of those gold companies right now. Look at this, man. Even Harmony. Negative? What's going on with Harmony? We check around to some of these equities. Folks, if you haven't checked out the gold report, great time to do it. And yeah, this is why technicals, right? Harmony bumping up against the technical area. The highs of October, the highs of February, we're right back to that area. And it's not, you know, if you're looking at XAU, similar area, right? We're up by what? $1.31. What's that? What are we doing here? Is that correlating? What are we seeing here? Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure why that wasn't yesterday's close. We're higher on the XAU by about $1.27, but you're coming right into those October highs. So all of these, when you look at the equities, right? That was the point. You're coming into the October area on those equities. Let's see. Let's look at Agnico Eagle. All right. Now that's a different story. You see, not all created equal. Look at Agnico Eagle breaking back in. That is a strong one, man. AEM breaking above the highs of February. We're back in the channel line. We put this thing on a weekly. We're breaking back in the channel line. Relentlessly strong. And like I always say, that's how you like to see it happen. Look at that weekly bar, right? You take out highs. You do it on wide price spread. You got some good volume in here of 13.5 million shares, and we still got today's action going forward. All right. All right, folks. It's a wild one of the markets. We got our man Basil Chapman. He's coming up next with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes with the Trader's Edge after that. Fast market. We got Larry Pesavento. He'll be up at 1 o'clock. Jacob Shoup this afternoon. Folks, thanks for tuning in, kicking off your Friday right here. Stay tuned. Basil's up next. Have a great Friday, great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday.